Hi guys, King Dave here. Thanks for clicking on the video. As you can see here, my generator started burning oil. I could tell it. At first, I just had to add oil to it because the oil light would turn on. I'm like, why is this thing running? Oh, it needs oil. Well, at first, it's like, not a big deal. It's just, motor needs oil. I ran the heck out of the thing. But eventually, you could start visually seeing the smoke coming out of it. So it's burning oil. It would regularly foul the plugs. I had to clean it off. It was clogging up the exhaust, which on this model, that spark arrestor is built into the exhaust. So I had to buy an entire hunk of exhaust or just jam holes in it with a screwdriver is what I ended up doing. So I finally decide that I gotta tear this thing apart. I know it's either gonna be like a valve stem seal or the pistons or the rings is where the eel's seeping past. Yuck. But I'll let you know what I discovered right now. Save you the trouble of the video. Basically, the valve train system is pretty stout. It's got brass sleeves on the valves. The valves didn't show anywhere. The cylinder block and the piston and the rings were all worn. And the issue with that on this particular model is the one half of the casing, the valve train system is built into the cylinder half, and the half of it that has the cylinder to it. So the price on replacing that was quite spendy. It's like 200 bucks, another 100 for the rings and the piston. And then, you're going to probably get free shipping if you spend that much money. But then you got to wait for the stuff from Japan. I ended up having to order one part because another thing I'll let you know is you should probably use the correct gear puller on this thing. I ended up bending the heck out of the magneto and what they call the rotor assembly. I ended up breaking that into several pieces trying to use the three-prong gear puller. And then you use the manual. So here's the manual. I strongly recommend reading through this before you go over anything. Prevent you from wrecking shit. Basically, it recommends using a specific product gear puller. So that's what I didn't do. I ended up breaking it. I ended up mounting the three-prong gear puller to the outside of the pulley and ended up snapping the one in half and bent the other one, which luckily I was able to bend the magneto back into place. What else did I learn from this video? Yeah, I learned you should probably put the should pay attention and probably put the oil cap back on before trying to start the motor and get a shot. So everything from here on out is just basically me going through the disassembly process of the motor up until I get to the gear pulling part. Just so I remembered where stuff went. Thanks for watching, guys. Sub to the channel. I got all types of off-grid stuff going on, types of wild activities. Who knows what I'm up to these days. Anyway, talk to you later. Alright, now I've taken the spark plug out and it's looking really fouled up. You can see there's a lot of carbon buildup on there. I've been topping the oil off quite a bit, so I've drained the gas, drained the oil, pulled this off. This video is basically for myself to figure out how to put this together. When I'm done with it, I'm going to pretty much take everything off. I'm going to try and get to the top end. I got to look at the valve seals, or maybe it's leaking past the rings or something. There's no other place it could be leaking oil into it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take these two bolts off, or these two screws off, and that'll take off the throttle control mechanism. Then I'm going to pull the carburetor off. I think I'll take this intake off of here. Might remove the gas tank. That should be easy, these three little things. Maybe I'll unhook it from the other end. I don't want to get the exhaust off of here. Alright, if I run into anything that Looks complicated, I'll let you know. I think we're gonna, yeah, remember where all these things go. You can start disconnecting them. Maybe be smarter to disconnect them here. Yeah, then you'd be like, did this one go there or there? Have a look at it. There's this thing down here. That must be the fuel control knob. Wire that opens the fuel. So you got this little short one to the bottom. Realistically, I only need to work over here. I may not need to take the fuel tank off. So we got the mid. This one runs bottom. That one runs mid. That one runs high. That should be simple. That one runs into the carburetor. Huh, weird. Some sort of... I guess this must be the fuel pump then. This 3 thing. Because this must be the pulse where it uses a vacuum. Uses a vacuum to pump the fuel. Alright. Where do we start? Probably right here. 10 millimeter, 8 millimeter. It looks like 8. Alright, I'll start there. Alright, I ended up taking a gas tank and this out. I figured, heck, just why bother taking the throttle control motor off? I just disconnected the wiring from back there. So, what else am I looking at here? Alright, this was the choke lever. Where's this? This little thing went into here. Whoa, I can set that to the side. Hopefully I remember where that went. I was recording it, so what's this? I gotta take that off. Guess not. Maybe that's part of it. I think that can come out. Oh, what am I gonna do now? Oh, the gas tank's disconnected. Oh, I still got one more. Should come off. Turn it out of the way. It's mostly out of the way. I'm gonna work on getting this cover off. What is that even? Oh, let's see. Oh, it's simple. I got these little clips. Let me just pop these clips off. What's that? Screw. Clips and a couple screws. Probably a few on the side here. You got lighting for this? Oh, holy shit. Oh yeah, definitely some screws to take off over here. Something like this thing here too. Might have to disconnect these just to get them out of the way. I could use a good cleaning. She's been used. Yep, let's just take this cover off next, get the exhaust off. Go from there. And I made it in past the plastic covers. I may have had to snap the one on the right side just a hair to get it out. Otherwise it was kind of wedging behind here. But it's out. This one's got some damage to it, I can see. I guess as long as the inner's fine. I don't know, I'll probably get a rebuild kit for it. Who knows? But let's stick it to task at hand. What are them, 10 millimeter? Gonna pop them off, and we got the good old fucking valve cover and pop that off and have a peek. Don't know what else. What do you got here? The cylinder? That'd be the only other thing to really look at. We'll get it figured out. Alright, looking at this for the first time. Yeah. Not too bad. Okay, so these are the little mini rocker or push rods. These tiny little bastards. Christ, they're small. I think got the rocker arms and you got your valve springs. Huh, yeah, I don't know. She's leaking oil somewhere and getting into the combustion chamber, so. Oh, what's next? We gotta like pull this whole fucking thing off or something, right? I don't even know. Let's get this plastic shit the fuck out of the way. Like, it shouldn't be too hard, then it's out of the way. It looks like it is held in there. Got the timing magnet here, the ignition. And there, that wire usually runs to all your safety features to shut them off. You unplug that, all your safety features will turn off and she'll just keep running. That's like your auto shutdown. Oh, yeah, shit. I mean, what it's leaking in, I need this, right? I need this. I need the fucking... Alright. This whole thing's gonna have to come off. I have no idea how this thing's assembled, but it looks like all of these are connected together. So I need to get this thing off, and then that means all of this off. So, oh look, we got things down there even. Oh, wait. So those are gonna have to come off. Well, that's a bunch of shit. Yeah. That's how it looks before you get into it, huh? Hopefully you remember how this shit goes. Oi, 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 oi. Hey, could I attempt it? No, that ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna get that out with this in the way. Oh, we're recording sideways now? Alright, I realize this thing has motor mounts in it, so I'm gonna take all these off. That should make looking at it easier. I think it's just these four things. Once again, they swap back from 8 and 10 millimeter all the time. Why don't you just go 9 millimeter, make them all the same, make life easy. Alright, I disconnected that wire I pointed at that was towards the ignition coil. Now this is underneath the motor, I gotta take these two things off. There's the last two wires holding it in, and I don't feel like taking them off. So... there, that's what it looks like. The one wire is there, and that goes to the middle. Alright, after all that out of the way, I got the motor exposed. Still looking like you need to take damn near everything off of this. So yeah, just to try getting a look at it. We'll see kind of how this is assembled when we start ripping more shit off. Guess I'm gonna take the recoil off next, this whole thing, along with the intake, it looks like. Bolts here, and whatever, wherever else there's bolts down there, just look for them. Alright, I was gonna continue further tonight, but I'm worried about ruining the timing if I start pulling these monstrous things off here, like that one and this one. So I'm just gonna kinda simmer on it a minute, let it sink in, and we'll get at it later.